60 Stunning Photos from History. Part 30. The smallest car in the world, PLP 500. Speed up to 40 miles per hour, cost $418 in then prices. Queen Elizabeth II shaking hands with National Swimming Team Captain D.G. Owen, 1954. These gigantic fake weapons were used to help soldiers better understand the parts and operation of a weapon, 1956. Rubber Skin Girl or Elephant Girl had skin at the top of her legs that was over a foot long, so it stretched far off her body, 1930s. 11-year-old Brooke Shields partying at Studio 54. One of the first hard drives with a capacity of 5 megabytes, 1956. Mummy Museum in Guanajuato, Mexico, 1957. Late Victorian mountaineers, including a lady fully dressed and corseted, cross a crevasse in the Alps, 1900. A letter from schizophrenic patient Emmy Hawk to her husband. It consists only phrase "Darling, please come," repeated over and over. The last sword duel in history, France, 1967. Melted wax figures rescued from the 1925 fire at Madame Tussauds London Museum. Group photograph of members of the Brighton Swimming Club, Brighton, England, circa 1863. Brothel workers in a photo for clients, Alaska, 1890. A necklace of human teeth, Fiji Island, 19th century. Rare picture of laughing Victorian woman, circa 1880s. Photo of a Soviet war veteran near the eternal flame on the anniversary of Victory Day, 1966. Beatrice Russell, 19, arrested for working in a brothel, 1880. Show of waterproof suits, USA, 1948. Ray Robinson, also known as Charlie No Face, was electrocuted when he touched a high-tension wire in 1919. An X-ray of the pelvis of serial killer Albert Fish reveals needles he had inserted into his pelvic area for pleasure, 1930. Acrobats from the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus during their off time between shows, circa 1950s. 1979 photograph shows a Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory employee opening a 44-ton hinged door. Burlesque dancer, 1867. The fastest computer in the world in 1950, the processor frequency is 1 MHz. Members of the Owls, a black women's softball team in the 1930s. To appear headless while taking a photo, aka horsemaning, was a popular way to pose in the 1920s. Causes of death in London, 1632. Either some kind of elephant trick or moments before disaster? 1961. Cairo Mary, a bouncer at Shanghai Reds, 5th and Beacon in San Pedro, escorts a customer to the door, 1953. Strange toys that are not children's, 1890. A little boy has a surprise for his girlfriend, 1954. Cats that sailed on ships until the mid-20th century to catch rodents had passports signed with their paw prints. Janis Joplin Tampa Police Department mugshot, 1969. Passing the Buck, California, 1995. Letter from John Steinbeck to Marilyn Monroe, 1955. Otto Skorzeny, described by Hitler as the most dangerous man in Europe, 1960s. JFK with his children Caroline and John on Halloween night, 1963. "16-year-old rescuer Ronald Reagan, 1927. Marilyn Monroe kisses a kid with muscular dystrophy, 1955. Vintage photograph shows the massive FBI's fingerprint files, 1944. Vintage Halloween costumes, 1942. A brothel in Paris, 1900s. Marilyn Monroe, then still Norma Jean, photographed by André de Diens, 1945. The Leatherman, an itinerant wanderer of French origin, he followed a 365-mile loop in New York and Connecticut from 1857 to 1889. Michelle Obama as a young student at Princeton University in the early 1980s. Schoolchildren hiding under their desks during class, learning what to do during an air raid, Seattle, USA, 1942. Santa Claus carrying a sleigh pulled by turkeys with a mountain of presents, Michigan, 1909. Vatican Rifle Team, 1937. Sharon Stone, 1983. White children outside the home of a black family they set on fire during the Chicago race riots of 1919. World Bank President Paul Wolfowitz takes off his shoes before entering a mosque in Turkey, 2007. A Date in Smog Masks, London, 1953. In the 1950s, New York had a tunnel police. Mike Tyson and his adoptive mother, Camilla Ewald. Spanish dancer Encarnita Alcaraz poses with an airplane, 1925. Portrait of another Victorian Batwoman, shown as Marie Schleinzer, taken at a Delcourt Atelier, Vienna circa 1890. Pablo Picasso in his studio, Paris, 1944. Psychiatric patient after surgery, 1933. Roy Lee, Rocky, Dennis with his mother. Rocky had a rare disease called craniodiaphyseal dysplasia, 1977. Production of chamber pots from German helmets, Denmark, 1945. Old gentleman shows off his strength lifting a homemade barbell, 2 train wheels attached to a steel rod, and 2 British soldiers, 1941. A woman has been very busy shopping, so much so that her helper is hidden under a pile of parcels, 1920s.